spelling alone. Chapter 1. Find the Wind Dragon. A flash of green light exploded in the Valley of Clouds behind King Roland's castle. The light faded. 4 dragon masters and their dragons appeared in the big grassy field. Drake and his brown dragon Worm, the earth dragon, had transported them all there. Bo and his blue water dragon Shu, Opeli and her lava dragon Ka, and finally Manawa and his sea dragon Tani. Tani was twice as big as any of the other dragons. Beautiful orange and yellow scales covered her body. Gills sprouted from each side of her enormous head. Griffith the wizard and dragon masters Anna and Rory had been waiting in the valley. Rory's dragon Vulcan was with her. They all stared with wide eyes at Tani. They'd never seen her before. "What a big dragon!" Rory cried. "This is Tani, the sea dragon," Bo explained, "and Manawa is her dragon master." Manawa bowed his head in greeting. "It is good to meet you all," he said. "We came here as quickly as we could." "Yes, we want to help find the Wind Dragon," Opeli added. The Dragon Masters were in the middle of an important mission. An evil wizard named Astrid had taken over the fortress of the Stone Dragon. She had turned Dragon Masters Mina and Casper and their dragons into stone. And now she was about to cast a false life spell. With that spell, she would bring to life the bones of giant ancient beasts. Then she could take them through magic portals to conquer kingdoms all over the world. There was only one way to break the spell, with a Tenebrex stone. But the Dragon Masters needed 3 dragons to make the stone's magic work. A lava dragon had to melt the stone. A sea dragon had to cool it. A wind dragon had to blow on it to transform it into a box. Then the box could break the spell. Drake and his friends had found Ka and Tani. Now they needed one more dragon. Anna stepped forward. "Rory and I found something," she said. "This book says there are wind dragons in a place called Ichu Mako. They live in the mountains there," Rory added. Griffith nodded at Rory. "You and Drake shall go find the Wind Dragon. The rest of us will stay here." Rory pumped her fist in the air. "Yes! We'll find that Wind Dragon, right, Vulcan?" The fire dragon shot a small flame from his nose. "Griffith, what happens after we find a Wind Dragon?" Drake asked. "The 3 dragons will use their powers to transform the Tenebrex stone," the wizard replied. "Then we will travel to the fortress of the Stone Dragon. There are many wizards there already trying to break down Astrid's defense spells so they can get inside. We'll need to be ready to battle since Astrid will likely have an army of beasts by her side." "We'll be ready," Drake promised. Rory touched Drake with one hand and Vulcan with the other. "Let's go!" she cried. Stopped for a moment, then she howled again. This time, the wind whipped around Wayra and Worm. It picked up the dragons and their riders and launched them into the air. Down below, Queen Amaru shouted at them over the wind. "No one steals from Queen Amaru! I will find you, and your dragons will be mine!" Drake had only flown on a dragon a few times before, and it always made him dizzy. He looked down as Wayra's magical wind swiftly carried them over the mountaintops. Fluffy clouds floated beneath them. Rory and Vulcan flew up to meet them. "This is beautiful!" Rory cried. Her green eyes sparkled with excitement. A few minutes later, Wayra gently sat down on one of the mountains. Worm and Vulcan landed next to her. "Wayra says thank you," Worm told Drake as the wind dragon bowed her head at Drake and Rory. "We're glad we could help," Drake said, and he climbed down from Worm. He saw only rocks and low-growing plants. "Where are we?" he asked. Before Aquila could answer, happy cries filled the air. 4 wind dragons flew down from the clouds. They circled the dragon masters and their dragons. Drake and Rory watched them, their mouths open in wonder. "This is the mountain of the wind dragons," Quilla explained. "Wayra is safe here. The Queen's warriors can't reach her." Rory frowned. "How did she get captured in the first place?" Quilla looked at Wayra. "May I tell her?" she asked, and her dragon nodded. "There was a storm," Quilla explained. "Wayra showed me images in my mind. Heavy winds and rains carried her away from this mountain. She crashed and got hurt, and the Queen's warriors found her." She smiled at her dragon. "But Wayra is better now." Wayra smiled back. Then she lifted up in the air and joined her friends, flying joyfully in the sky. "Quilla, we need to ask you a favor," Drake said. "Like we told Queen Amaru, we need Wayra's help." "You shall have it," Quilla replied. "Wayra and I would not be free if it weren't for you." She whistled, and Wayra flew down to her. "Wayra, we need to go on a journey with our new friends," Quilla told her dragon. "But we will return soon." The wind dragon nodded. She flew back up to the other dragons. "She is telling them she will be back," Quilla explained. "When do we leave?" "Soon," Drake replied. He took out the magic mirror tucked into his belt. "Griffith," he said, and the face of the wizard appeared.
"Drake, have you found the wind dragon?"
Griffith asked.